Hello, children. It is now time for the 6th chapter in our story, God's Special Messenger. God's special messenger's name was Ellen Gold White. She was born in 1827 and she died in 1915. The 6th chapter in our story is called Saved from a Storm, Part 3. But before we start our story this morning, let's sing our theme song together, Jesus Wants Me for a Sunbeam. As we left our story last week, Ellen, Sarah, and Mr. Gurney were safely on their way back to the harbor in the sailboat of the family that they had visited on the island. But there was a problem. They were wondering what they would do about the sailboat that was lost in the storm. Mr. Gurney had borrowed it from a friend, but now it was gone, and there was no money to buy him another sailboat. Everyone in the sailboat was praying silently. They needed to know how to tell the man who loaned his sailboat to Mr. Gurney that it was lost. Jesus, when we called on you for help, you saved us from the terrible storm last night. Now the water is quiet, but we are in trouble again. You know where the borrowed sailboat is, whether far out on the ocean, or wrecked on the shore, or at the bottom of the ocean. And Jesus, you know that we have no way to pay the man who owns it. Please help us again. As they got closer to the place where the owner of the sailboat always kept it tied, they kept praying. Finally, they saw his home. Then, as they got closer, they got excited. Can you guess what they saw? Let's find out what they saw. There was the lost sailboat, tied safely to the dock where it was always kept. Now they prayed another prayer. Jesus, we don't know how it got here, but thank you. Thank you. They hurried to the home of the owner of the sailboat. I see that your boat is back already, Mr. Gurney said. How did it get there? He asked eagerly. His friend was surprised. Didn't you bring it back and tie it up there this morning? He asked. No, I didn't, Mr. Gurney said with a smile. Then he told his friend how the sailboat was lost in the terrible storm, and how sad they felt as they thought of telling him about it. The owner looked at his boat and shook his head. It was hard to believe what had happened. Who do you think brought it safely back through the storm and put it right where you always keep it? Mr. Gurney asked his friend. The owner answered, "It had to be an angel. Only an angel could have done that." Then they all knelt and thanked Jesus for the way he had cared for them and the sailboat. Can you tell of a time when an angel took special care of you or someone you know? The next chapter in our story is called A Captain Becomes a Preacher. That sounds really exciting. May God bless you until next time.